Hi guys, it's Katie here again from BellaCreativa, and I am not doing any crafting today. I'm not doing a flip through as such. I just have something that I'd like to share with you in case you were interested. I've created some little embellishments that you can use in your albums and journals, and I've put them in my Etsy store. So I thought I'd just quickly show you them because I'm not very good at embellishing, to be truthful. I get a bit overwhelmed by either the amount of choices I have or the lack of choices I have. So I came up with some things that I thought you could use in a lot of different ways in albums and in journals. So the first one is these word tags. So there are 33 of them and they all have little words on them, and these ones are really related to photo albums, mini albums and journals. And the last one here is a blank one, and it's the same size as these ones with the words on, so you can back them. And this is just an example here. I was just using what I had on my desk nearby. So these are the little word tags, and of course you can make them any size you like, but the word themselves is cut out. And then this tag here I've cut out of some of the glitter cardstock and just backed it. So this one says bliss, and there's thoughts. This one says compendium, reminisce. So these are all words that really go well with journals and albums. Happy, gorgeous, adore, memento and captivating I've got here. And in this pile I've got this, anthology, beautiful, snapshot, adventures, memorabilia and hilarious. And then there's other ones in here as well. So we've got things like interesting, joyful, feelings, love, laugh, adore, etc, etc. So I thought that these were great because you could cut these out of scraps really easily because they're quite tiny. You can back them with anything that you wanted to. I've done them here with black with glitter cardstock underneath. You could do the black underneath and something fancy on top. You can use the scrapbook paper maybe that you're using for an album. You can use scraps and cast off bits and pieces. You could use collage papers, all sorts of things. So I just thought that they'd be great. You could hang them off the side of your page. You could attach them as a little tuck spot. You could glue them down. I mean, just because they've got holes in them and they're tags doesn't mean that that's how they have to be. But so that was my first idea of something that would help me to embellish, and I know I'll definitely be using those. So these are available in my Etsy store. The link to my Etsy store is in the description box, and I won't say that again. Then the second ones that I've made, these ones I call my really useful embellishments. So here we have a slide. It's got a little flower, a mason jar, a mini Rolodex card, a feather, some more 4 different types of flowers, slides, a little tiny viewfinder, a little frame with flowers on it, just a thing. Don't know, kind of like a doily maybe, something like that. And then there's a clock face, and it's got the little hands there, so you can use a brad to attach the hands. There's a little banner here and some tickets. So I've cut some of these out. And again, this is just what I had left over from a project that I was working on. So there's some tickets. I haven't done anything to them other than using up my little scrap bits of paper. Got lots of tickets. Here's the butterfly. So again, I've just cut it out of black cardstock. I'm just using up my scraps, and I might not even use this for this project, but I've got them there ready to go. These are some of the little mini Rolodex cards. These are so cute, and of course you can layer things on here. So you know, you could have the Rolodex card and then you could have a butterfly attached to the Rolodex card, and that could be a little tuck spot or something, you know, a little decoration just like that. Here's one of the flowers. That's this little guy here. Of course you can make it bigger or larger. Bigger or larger, bigger or smaller, larger or smaller. Here's some of the slide film, negative film, so you could put acetate under that, scrapbook paper like I've done, vellum, you could stamp there, you know, you've got lots of options, but so there's some of those there. This is this little frame here, so it's got little flowers around it, and then it's got the mat underneath. Again, you could make any choices that you wanted with that. Just another option. Frames are really useful. I mean, you don't even have to have the mat underneath if you don't want to. You could just cut out the frame and frame something. Frame something. I mean, you could pop that up, and you know, there's options. Here's some of the mason jars that I've cut out. So I've made them this size, but of course you can make them bigger or smaller. And so I thought they were pretty cute. And of course you can put things in them. You could put a butterfly in them, something like that. Maybe if the butterfly was a bit smaller. I've got some, this is the little banner here, so I've backed it with this pink scrapbook paper, and I've just again used the black cardstock, put a couple of little punch outs on there. It looks really cute. So again, you could put vellum under there, you don't have to use black cardstock, you could use anything. Just some options, some ideas, a little feather. I thought that would look really cute dangling off your page as well, you know. There's another feather. I've cut out a few of these little roses here, so these are the roses. I've got quite a few of those. And this flower here, I haven't actually got a cut out of that one, but it's just a giant size flower from around this little frame here, so that kind of goes together, and of course you can resize that. Here's some of the mini viewfinders. I've just put scrapbook paper on them, but you could put vellum, acetate, you know, scrapbook paper, coffee stain paper, anything you like, napkin, whatever. And this is this funny little thing. Didn't know what to call it, but again, I thought it was just a nice little item that you could use, and you might put some kind of a focal point in the middle of it. Sorry, my dog's barking. If it was bigger, if I cut it out bigger, I could put that one in the center. There's some more butterflies. Just using up my scraps. Here's that little clock, and I've just put a little brad in here, and the little hands move around. It would have been better if I'd made the hands out of maybe the glitter or something like that, but I think you get the idea anyway. And there's some more feathers and flowers, and there's another Rolodex card. So I've cut out some of the things in this that I just wanted to show you. So again, I think these things are really useful to have to embellish. They're sort of the things that you know, you could cut out of your scrapbook paper, and then you instantly have some matching embellishments, and they don't look like they come from somewhere else, you know, maybe from a different pack or something like that. So that's the really useful embellishments, the cut file. And then the last one I have is called Flowers and Foliage, and these I feel like they're fillers. They're things you might put in the background, or what, you know, there's lots of options. So here's some examples that I cut out, and I've just coloured these with some Distress ink. So I've got a couple of types of lavender, or whatever you want them to be. They remind me of lavender, so I've got a couple of those. Then we have a flower here. To me, this is quite an Australian type of flower, but it could be anything. It looks a bit like a grevillea to me. Then there's a couple more different flowers here. One's sort of facing one way and one's sort of front on. And of course you can make them any colour that you like. And then there's also 3 types of leaves. So there's sort of your ferny leaf, I don't know, another leaf there, and then another leaf there. So I cut these out quite large. I feel like they would be they're pretty large, but I have also cut them out a little bit smaller, so I could show you them when they're teensy, because they're cute when they're teensy. There's a little lavender, a little flower, some teensy leaves. They're a bit delicate because of course I've used some distressed ink on them, so they got wet, of course, as a part of that. And there's another little, what I call lavender anyway, my two little daisy kind of things. And I'm missing one of the leaves. There should be one of these. I've obviously dropped it. It'll probably never turn up ever again. But there should also be one of these, but smaller. But I forgot. So anyway, those ones are called Flowers and Foliage, and I think that these are really helpful as well, particularly if you're doing something sort of botanical-ish, or even if you know you have already got some die cuts that go with what you're using. Sometimes it's nice to put a leaf or something in there behind there. I was also thinking if you had something like this, this little mason jar, for example, I could probably stack some things up in there a little bit. I could have a little leaf in there, and maybe I'd go with a bigger flower. I don't know, it might be too big. I could have a little flower in there. I don't know, I feel like this might want to go this. What about if we put it like that? And then you have a little flower in there or something like that, and of course you'd cut it off and, you know, do a better job than I have. But you could definitely do something like that. You could just have a flower in there. Anyway, I could do that for hours. And that's why I never embellish my albums or journals on camera, because I don't think that embellishing is my strong point. And so I feel like these are good tools for me to help me to embellish. But also I'm so indecisive. I'll have these things here and I'll spend 10 minutes sort of rearranging my little bits and pieces until I think they're just right. And whereas that makes me happy, and you know, I feel like I've done a good job once I've decided on something, I can't imagine watching me do that. It would just be terribly annoying, I would think. So anyway, enough about me. I just wanted to share these 3 sets of embellishments with you today in case you find them really useful as well. So there's the Flowers and Foliage, the word tags, and the really useful embellishments. They're all on my Etsy store. They're not very expensive, and I hope that if you have any problems with embellishing, that these would help you out too. So otherwise, I'll see you guys again soon for another project. So take care. See you soon. Bye for now. Bye.